through concern for women in violent domestic situations. Some were being asked to help with specific incidents, and some were just concerned that it was happening. At the time, there were no resources in the community to support those who were trying to help, apart from our overworked visiting doctor and resident nurse. So there were 8 founding members, apparently, at the first meeting, and they were Robin Roberts, Denise Rands-Trevor, Kathy Locker, Jelly Davenport, Fenella Christian, Lynn Dunnett, Sue Eves, and Beverly Blackwell. These 8 women had the vision to set up the Aotea Family Support Group and to develop many relevant resources for the Great Barrier Island community. All those resources have remained virtually unchanged, and with time and new input, the resources have become more grounded and richer. Some new resources have been added, and the services of the Aotea Family Support Group have in some areas expanded.
That's okay. That sets the scene a little bit. But 2 decades, I mean, you've been involved, part of that, you said before, 11, 12 years, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Just in those 12 years, I mean, by the time, when you first came across the family support group, how had that, by that stage, already grown from this first vision that the women had brought together back in 1988?
Well, they were already offering more services than the original group had set up, although most of them are still continuing. Just trying to think what a new thing. So it's just expanded. The youth has expanded. We've got resources, like we hire out a marquee now. We have done events. We did the Santa parade for a while, but we've stopped that now. We've done the New Year's picnic for many years, although that wasn't initially one of the activities of the original group. One of the main things they apparently set up at the beginning was home help coordination, because the Aotea Health it was just stretching them too far to organise that. Already they do the assessments for the home help, but that's their main involvement. Community Gardens, a new initiative. We've done school holiday programs for most of the time I've worked there, and youth group was certainly an initial activity, which I believe was originally run by volunteer parents in the Trifena Hall. It's got bigger and smaller over the years. Bigger in that a few years ago we had probably the peak number of correspondence kids on the island. That's dropped off considerably now, I think, because a lot of families have left the island to take their kids away to high school. And quite a few still go to boarding school, but there seems to be less at the moment on correspondence. The home help at over 60s has grown because the numbers in this age group have grown. The monthly dinners are more popular. We send them to all the clubs, including Port Fitzroy, Whangapara, Claris and Trifena, for monthly dinners, and a midwinter Christmas dinner in June and a Christmas lunch in December. Those are relatively new developments. It started off just a simple monthly dinner in the clubs, no Christmas ones. We do offer crisis support, budgeting, we've done for a few years now. Counsellor, we have two and a half counsellors now. We've got one new part-time counsellor on the island. Anybody wants counselling appointments, just ring us on 465. I can't think of any other changes. We do advocacy now too. Probably a lot of those things were done in the beginning, but I wasn't there then, so I'm not sure.
Now, you mentioned one thing that's been really important in the operation of the trust has been the support of other people from the community. You had quite a few people that kind of like chipped in with help. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, we've always relied on volunteers to a certain degree, especially with the youth services. We currently use youth helpers for youth to run youth group, and the school holiday programs. We always rely on people to come in and take workshop programs for the young people, and they often do that as in a volunteer capacity, or they're just given a small koha. So we're really grateful to all of them. We wouldn't be able to keep all our activities going without volunteers. And, of course, all the trustees volunteer a huge amount of time to keep the group going and functioning well. In terms of supporters, we do get some sort of financial and labour support in the community from various groups. GBA always gives us good deals for our frequent flights that we use them for. Sealink are always happy to sponsor us. Aotea Gas give us free gas, which is fantastic. Thanks, Bruce. And Ken Morris, I must say, is always great at coming and fixing our aged plumbing with no charge. Thanks, Ken. And if I've forgotten anybody, sorry, but that's all I can think of right now.
That's good. Now, one of the reasons I'm always keen to talk about the history of the groups is just to get a sense of what got groups together, how they turn a good idea into action, and what kept them going. I mean, what experiences and insights can you contribute from family support, or what else you've sort of seen through that? And I'm putting the question to both of you rather than having you point fingers at each other.
I actually think what keeps groups going is the change in trustees. There's new people coming on always have a slightly different direction they'd like to go in, and also staff evolving into more specialised fields. We seem to have, as usual in the whole of the world, many more educated women that have excellent contributions to make, even to really small communities. And they seem to be the ones that have that, what I would call a community drive, that a lot more than some men who might, as Sue was saying about, like Ken, our plumber, who they like to do things on the quiet without everybody knowing, where women seem to be a little bit more out there and not so shy and holding back their thoughts and opinions. And it's really, I must say, with everyone's AGMs on at this time of the year, that men are valued as trustees. Their input into our community is excellent, and it's just a shame that more of them don't put their hands up. But the ones that do are great, and that's that type of thing that changes things, and groups evolve for the needs as they change. Like now, I'm sure when the support group first started, there was a lot of kind of middle-aged people, where now our island is elderly. That is the bulk of our island, and so the need for us is increasing yearly. And I'm going to shut up now.
That's good. But no, well, I've got you close to the microphone, either of you, because I'm interested to also walk away with some inspirational ideas for people that might be sitting around a glass of wine later in the evening, say, wouldn't it be great if, and they have some sort of project. Now, especially because you're actually an umbrella group for small initiatives. What sort of, stories and ideas could you share that would be useful to people that think about some ideas about how to get off the ground and how to keep it going?
Well, I feel that is where the role of the person that we are going to now only employ as a funding person. That's, if you have a brilliant idea, you go to somebody like them and run it past them, like it used to be Kathy, and then they will tell you right from the first minute whether it's a starter or has some sort of possibilities. And you'll find 9 times out of 10 that they are runners. It's just that you might know the direction to look in, but lots of things, even barbed wire, started somewhere.
And now, we're going to have to fix a squeak on this microphone. If any of the trustees are listening, can you bring some WD-40 in?
Well, actually, Rent, being a good old tier family support person, I have some in the back of the ute.
I think we might get that out afterwards. I'm quite intrigued by your little comment about about having a funding coordinator there, being support to anybody with good ideas, because really that places you somewhere in the community that has got a perception. Does that go beyond just other family support projects, or how do you sort of see your role in respect to other community groups?
No, it does, because look at soccer, or even the elderly with their. They won't like me calling them elderly. They're really, really old, but the arts and crafts, it's just it's everybody and anybody.
Okay,
Trips away, if you want a group, ping pong players to go to China or something, sometimes you need help in order to be able to do that. Well, that's an old tier support thing, because you are part of our community.
And that, by the sounds, I guess you're all community focus.
Correct.
That's good. All right, okay, I'll let you relax for a little bit moment. I'll have some more music, and then I want to talk a little bit more about our community and what it looks like from your perspective of being a family support group, and how things have been changing and where they're heading to. But let's have some more music, and we'll come back just after this track.